Good morning, everybody. I'm Zina محمد طاهر from المستنصرية University College of Arts, Department of English and Language and Literature. I'm going to present chapter 5 of Sons and Lovers by D.H. Lawrence for fourth year English students. So we are going to start with an introduction to chapter 5. Chapter 5 marks a turning point in Paul Morell's life, his first steps into adulthood. He begins to work at Jordan's factory, where he experiences the real world beyond home. This chapter explores work, class struggle, independence, and emotional attachment. Concerning Paul's first job, Paul starts working in a factory that produces decorations and spiral work. At first, he feels nervous and awkward, but he gradually adjusts. The factory represents the industrial society of early 20th century England. Repetitive, mechanical, and dehumanizing. Despite the harshness, Paul finds pride and purpose in his work. Okay. Now we come to the working class reality. The novel vividly shows factory life, long hours, low pay, and physical exhaustion. Lawrence criticizes the dehumanizing effects of industrialization on the working class. Paul's artistic soul struggles against his mechanical world. He begins to understand his mother's hatred of industrial life. Now we come to Mr. Morell's role. Mrs. Morell's role. Mrs. Morell continues to guide Paul emotionally and morally. She is proud of him, but worries that factory work will limit his potential. She encourages him to see life beyond labor, toward art and personal development. Her influence remains powerful even as Paul begins to gain independence. Okay, now we come to slide number 6. Paul emotional growth. Paul becomes more confident and aware of his abilities. He begins to express his artistic side through painting and observation. His relationship expand. He meets new people, including Miriam, who will later play an important role. However, his emotional dependency on his mother still shapes his personality. Okay. Now we come to slide number 7. Themes in chapter 5. Number 1, work and class. The reality of the industrial world. Individual versus society. Paul's sensitivity versus the mechanical environment. Number 3, mother-son bond continues to dominate his emotions. Number 4, search for identity. Paul begins to define his own place in the world. Art versus industry, the struggle between creativity and routine labor. Okay, now we come to the symbolism. Factory represents industrial oppression and loss of individuality. Art painting symbolizes Paul's inner world and his need for expression. Hence, Lawrence often describes Paul's hand to show his artistic nature and a gentle personality. Okay, and now we come to character development. Paul becomes more aware, independent, but still emotionally tied to his mother. Mrs. Morel, proud yet controlling, shaping Paul's value and emotions. Mr. Morel remains distant and uninvolved. Okay, Miriam appears as a gentle spiritual girl who will change Paul's emotions later. Okay, now we come to Lawrence's technique. Psychological realism explores Paul's inner emotion and thoughts. Symbolism and imagery, factory, light, and color reflect emotional status. Social critics exposes class limitations and emotional isolation in industrial England. Okay. Now we come to the summary. Of this chapter. Chapter 5 represents Paul entirely into the adult world. His work experience at Jordan's factory reveals the harshness of industrial life. His blood with his mother continues to guide and limit him emotionally. The chapter sets up major conflicts between beauty and desire, art and labor, love and independence, themes that dominate the rest of the novel. Okay, and now we come to the conclusion of chapter 5. Which shows Paul's first encounter with the outside world, symbolizing his transition from childhood to early adulthood. His experiences at the factory reflect the struggle of the working class and the conflict between art and labor. The emotional bond with his mother continues to dominate and guide his choices, showing how love can both nurture and confine. Through Paul's journey, Lawrence reveals the novel's central message: the search for individual identity within family, class, and industrial society. And this is the end of chapter 5. Thank you.